Hey there, Amy Starr Allen here, and in this video today I am going to be sharing with you some of the main ways that I use leverage to create more freedom for myself in my business. So I'm shooting this video right now from Costa Rica, and I've been thinking about this a lot because while I've been here traveling, I'm here for 2 weeks. I've been here for 8 days or so far, and I've been making money every single day, even though I've barely been working. And some of that money has come in from new sales that have been generated, and some of it has been from residual income from previous sales that continue to pay me every single month. So I'm going to be talking about both of those things and how I'm able to generate income while I'm traveling, as well as just some of the systems that I have in place that allow me to have leverage in my business. Now, before I get started, I just want to say that I realize that some of the things I'm going to say today might be a little bit controversial. They might ruffle some feathers. I know that the way I do things in my business is not the way that everybody believes in doing things in their business, but that's okay with me. I just want to teach you guys based on the way that I do things and what works for me. So I'm not saying it's the right way. I'm not saying anybody else is the wrong way. This is just what has proven to work for me for many, many years in my business. So since I just mentioned that, I guess I'll just start off with speaking to that right now. So you may or may not know that a large majority of my income comes from residual income that I make through affiliate marketing. So I have one affiliate program that has 4 different income streams, and I'm bringing people into that program on a regular basis. You might have an affiliate program similar to that. You might be in a network marketing company. So I'm kind of speaking to that right now. When you are bringing people into something, maybe it's even your own products and services, but anything that requires any kind of an onboarding process. So for me, I've always been a believer in the mindset of build it and they will come. So when I get started in anything, whether it's a new business or some type of a new program or anything like that, I like to make sure that I'm set up to support people ahead of time. And the reason for that is because I don't want to limit the amount of people that I can bring in. I don't want to limit the number of sales I can make based on me having to support people one-on-one. I don't want to have to do one-on-one calls with every single person that makes a purchase from me, because if I was to do that, it would not allow me to scale my business as big as I want to scale my business. So I always like to put systems in place so that when I make a sale, when I sponsor somebody into my affiliate program or whatever it is, back when I used to be in network marketing, I did the same exact thing with my network marketing business. I want to be able to sponsor as many people as I want without having to require a lot of my individual time. So for example, before I put this in place, back when I was in network marketing, when I first started doing the home-based business thing, every time I would bring someone into my network marketing program, I would sit down with them and train them for an hour. So what that means is there's only a limited number of people that I could bring in per day, because there's only a limited number of hours in a day to schedule appointments with people. So there's only a limited amount of success that you can have doing that, right? Instead, what I like to do is I like to put systems in place so that when somebody joins, when somebody makes a purchase from me, I can make sure they're getting everything that they need in a really great way. I like to even over deliver in this sense, but it doesn't require my time one-on-one. And so when I'm making sales, when I'm in Costa Rica, for example, I'm making sales and I'm not having to stop what I'm doing to chase down a new person and tell them what to do next and get them set up for success, right? So that's what I mean when I say that I like to put systems in place. I build it and they will come. So I have a couple systems in place that I'm going to share with you. And the reason that this is controversial is because some people are of the mindset where when you're new and you have a lot more time before you start sponsoring a whole bunch of people, that you should spend one-on-one time with people. And like I said, I'm not saying that they're wrong, the people that believe that. I just personally don't believe that. I believe that you need to set yourself up for success from the beginning. Also, a huge point about this is that if you are doing things in a way that's unattractive to the people that you're bringing in, the chances of them wanting to stick around are not as good as if you're doing things in a way where they can see a lifestyle that's attractive to them. They can see that you actually have freedom. So an example of this is when I was in my first network, sorry, there's a lot of wildlife around here, so if you hear background noise, that's what that is. So when I was in my first network marketing company, I was doing three-way calls. When I had a prospect, I would schedule a three-way call with the top leaders in the company who were several levels up from me, my upline. And they were great at closing my prospects on these three-way calls. And they were making more money than anyone else in the company. But the longer I watched the way that they worked, and the longer I realized that they were spending their entire day on the phone doing three-way calls with not just my prospects, but everybody else in their downline's prospects, I saw what their business model looked like. And I thought to myself, I don't want that. I don't want to get to that level in the company if it means that I have to be on the phone all day long. And ever since then, I've been of the mindset, I want to always be demonstrating to my team, to the people that I sponsor, and anything that I'm in, that there are ways to set up your business where it gives you freedom, you can still have a life, and have a business that's very, very scalable. So because of that, I don't teach people to do one-on-one onboarding with new people ever. I just don't think it's necessary. And I actually think it can hurt your business because, like I said, if you're spending a lot of time, first of all, you're spending time onboarding people an hour at a time with each person that you could be spending doing something to bring in more people, right? So it's not scalable, like I said. But the other downside of it is the people that you're onboarding are watching how much time you're spending with them. And although you might think, well, they really appreciate the time I'm spending with them, but they're also seeing the way that you're building your business. And it's just, if that way of doing business is not attractive to somebody, they're not going to stick around. And I know that's true because I left a company because of that. I had a mindset shift where I was like, yeah, they have the success that I desire, but they don't have the lifestyle that I desire. So, and when I say lifestyle, I don't mean you work all the time and then sometimes you get to go on vacation. I mean, what does your daily business model look like? What does your life look like on a regular basis? Okay, so in this video today, I'm just going to show you a few of the different systems I have in place, systems and processes that I have in place that allow me to, build my business with leverage. It gives me a lot of time freedom. It allows me to travel a lot. It allows me to make money while I'm traveling without having to take time out of my day while I'm traveling. And I also generate a lot of residual income, which is awesome as well. So I'm going to talk about all of that right now. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is how I generate sales, leads and sales in a leveraged way, even when I'm not working. So I have different marketing strategies that I do, but my main source of leads and sales in my business is YouTube. What I love about YouTube is that the content is evergreen and it's searchable. So what that means is that I have videos that I've created years ago that are still generating leads and sales today. And I love this. And although I love some of the other platforms like TikTok and Instagram Reels and all of that, YouTube, I find, content is more evergreen. The content basically continues to work for you forever. On some of these other platforms, they recommend that you're posting 3 times a day or whatever to make sure that you're in sync with the algorithm and all of that. YouTube's not like that. YouTube is based on search. It's a search engine. So if you generate content that people can search for, they can search for it years after you create the content, and they can find your content, and that content can generate leads and sales for you. So I love that about YouTube. And like I said, I use other marketing strategies as well. I do the short form video platforms as well, and I love those as well. And those generate leads and sales as well. But YouTube is the best one for, long-term evergreen leveraged leads and sales, at least for me. So what does that look like? So if you just come to any of my videos on YouTube, you will see that depending on what my video is about, I always have whatever I'm referring to in the video, I'll always have a link underneath the video. So in this case, I'm talking about how to generate leads and sales on YouTube for free. I talked a little bit about affiliate marketing. So I have like my affiliate marketer's cheat sheet right here. If someone clicks on this, it takes them to this resource that I've created where they can click on this button, put in their name and email address. They get the resource, and then this person gets added to my email list, which means that they are now a lead for me. So I can continue to provide value for them. I have an email sequence that goes out, and then any broadcast emails that I send out with new content or offers or anything like that, they will get from this point forward because they are now a lead that's been added to my email list. And the cool thing about this is I have different resources like this that I've created for different free offers. And so depending on what my YouTube video is about, I always have something that I can offer people for them to take the next step with me, for me to provide additional value for them and for them to get added to my email list. And so this is why, you'll see I have 840 videos on my YouTube channel. So I like to look at my videos, every video that I create, as a little fish hook out on the internet, meaning I have all this content that I've generated over the years, and a lot of it is still generating leads and sales today, even though I created it years ago because people are still searching for it. And so the more content you have on YouTube, the more keywords you can rank for and the more ways people can find you. So I love YouTube for leveraged content for, I notice when I'm traveling, this is always my main source of lead generation and my main source of sales, even when I'm not traveling. But I love it because I'm usually pretty good at posting at least one YouTube video on my channel every week, but I don't put a lot of pressure on myself when I'm traveling to keep up with that schedule because I know that my YouTube channel is going to continue to generate leads and sales for me even during the times when I'm taking a break from it. So that is one way that I leverage my business as far as the way that I'm generating leads and sales. Another thing that I have in place that is really, really helpful if you are wanting more time freedom and it's going to create a lot of leverage in your life is residual income. I'm a huge believer in residual income, and although not all of my income streams create residual income, I like to have some main streams that I can count on to consistently bring in income for me, even when I'm not generating new sales, even if I'm not working, even if I'm sleeping, even if I'm traveling, to just have income coming in all of the time. So I have 3 main residual income streams that I literally swear by, that I've been using for the last 6.5 years. And because I can count on these income streams, and I know that I have every single week I get paid on these income streams, whether I'm working or not, because most of these sales are sales that I've made in the past. Some of them I made 6 years ago, 5 years ago, and I'm still getting paid month after month after month on these sales. And so having residual income is another way that you can create leverage for yourself in your business. And I'm not saying that you can't have other streams that are not residual, but if you really want to have something that is leveraged, residual income is amazing because you're not starting over at 0 every month. So that's what I mean when I say leveraged. I know that if I go on a trip, like I'm in Costa Rica for 2 weeks, I know that I'm going to get paid while I'm in Costa Rica, that residual income is already there based on some of the sales I've already made in the past. Now, I have made some sales since I've been in Costa Rica, kind of on autopilot thanks to my YouTube channel, but there's a lot of other sales that I've made in the past that I'm continuing to get paid on, even if I had made no additional sales. Does that make sense? So residual income is a really good way to create time freedom and leverage for yourself in your life. And it's, without it, I wouldn't be able to travel as much as I do for as extended periods of time as I do. People always ask me, how do you get so much time off of work? And it's, well, first of all, I work for myself, so I make my own schedule, but I can take time away because I know that I have residual income coming in. So that's another thing that I have in place that creates leverage for me in my business. And I'm going to move on to some of the other systems I have in place, but I just want to let you know, if you're interested in learning about my 3 solid streams of residual income that I have coming in, I will leave a link below this video where you can access those and learn more about those as well. Okay, so now I'm just going to share with you a few systems that I have in place to support the people that come into my business. Again, I'm an affiliate marketer. I'm in an amazing affiliate program, which is where I'm generating residual income. And we are like a community. We are a community. We're like a family. And so when people come into my business, I have different ways that I can support them right away without having to do one-on-one onboarding with anybody like I talked about earlier. So now I'm going to share with you some of the ways that I do that. And these are things that you can do regardless of what type of business that you have if you want to create some leverage for yourself. So like I mentioned earlier, I have a way that I onboard my new members, which is a very simple process. So basically, inside of my autoresponder account, I use Aweber. There's different, you can use GetResponse. There's different types of autoresponder accounts, which is how I communicate with all of my leads. And I have a separate list specifically for the people that join me in my business. And so when you create a list in an autoresponder, whenever a new subscriber gets added to that list, whether it's because they're opting into a page like I just showed you before with my affiliate marketers cheat sheet, or if we're adding them manually, they're going to start to get any emails that you have loaded into your autoresponder. So I have an email sequence that goes out whenever I sponsor a new person. I add them to a specific list in my autoresponder for onboarding new members, and they get a sequence of emails. And in those emails, I'm introducing myself, I'm welcoming them. I have a four parts sequence that goes out over the course of a week. So every couple days, they'll get an email from me just checking in on them, reminding them, how to get their affiliate account set up, how to get plugged in with our community, and how to attend our masterminds and all the different resources that we have available. And that's all happening through an automated email sequence that I write ahead of time. I wrote it ahead of time, and it has everything that they need in there. So they're hearing from me 4 times over the course of their first week, even when I'm traveling. And the only thing that I do when somebody joins my business, if I get a sale notification while I'm traveling, all I have to do is take their email address and add it to that autoresponder sequence in my Aweber account, and Aweber does the rest. So I'm not calling people, I'm not trying to get in touch with them via email, it's just going out automatically through that broadcast sequence. And for people that join me in my business, I actually provide my onboarding series for them, as well as a video that teaches them exactly how to set everything up. This is a process that I love because even when I'm not traveling, having this in place is what allows me to scale my business as big as I want to. If I made 100 sales today, it wouldn't take me that long to add, each time the sale comes in, I just add the email to that autoresponder list, and the rest is taken care of. So I could literally make as many sales in a day as I want to, even if I'm not really around because I'm traveling or whatever. And every single one of my new members is going to know exactly how to get started. They're going to know how to plug into the community, which leads me to the next system that I have in place that is extremely leveraged, which is the community that I'm a part of inside of my main affiliate program. We have such a phenomenal community, and it includes 7 Zoom masterminds every single week. And on those Zoom masterminds, it's a place where people can come to learn different marketing strategies. We have people that teach over their shoulder, myself included, on certain days of the week. And then at the end of each of our sessions, we always leave time for people to ask questions. And we never end the mastermind until everybody has what they need. So people come with questions about anything at all. It could be a question about what they learned that day from the session, or it could be a question about, how to set up your autoresponder, how to connect your autoresponder to your funnel builder. It could be they need some help with copywriting. Some people bring stuff that they want to get some feedback on, like a page that they just created or an email that they just wrote, to just get some copywriting tips. anything goes on there, and we have the most phenomenal community. So what's cool is my onboarding sequence goes out. It shows people how to get plugged into those Zoom calls, and it gives them all of, everything that they need. And then while I'm traveling, they can still get plugged into the Zoom calls. I know that we have phenomenal leaders on there, and our whole community is on there. Just everybody's super supportive and helpful. So I know that when I'm unplugged, that my new members are still going to be completely taken care of in my absence, because they're going to be getting my emails through the automated sequence, and then they're going to be completely taken in and taken care of by this phenomenal community that I'm a part of. So having a community like that is literally one of the processes that I have in place. It's a huge form of leverage because everything that they need is there. We even have like an AI assistant right here. So if somebody has a question, they can click on this and ask a question about anything that they want. And if they can't find a certain video or something like that, you can ask our AI assistant, and it just will take you to exactly where you want to go. So that's another form of leverage, right? But I love having these masterminds and this community here because that's why it's here. It's here so that a brand new person, like if you were to join and you're brand new and you don't even really know that much yet, do you want to be supporting new people and answering their questions when you're new too, right? We don't want people to have to do that. We want people to be able to just plug their people into the community so that everybody's questions can get answered by people that have been around longer, that know what's going on. And that way everybody gets much better support. So it's a win-win, but it definitely gives me a lot of peace of mind when I'm traveling because I know that my new people are going to be completely taken care of. And then the other way that I leverage myself is through a private Facebook group that I have specifically for my members. So when somebody joins me in my affiliate program, in that onboarding sequence, they get access to a welcome. The first email will send them over to my welcome page. And my welcome page has a video on it that welcomes them to the community. It gives them a full orientation of the back office and where to find everything. And it also lets them know that they can join my private Facebook group. And this private Facebook group is just for people that have joined me in my affiliate marketing program. And this is where I support my members. And I really just make sure that people know, like, this is the best place to get in touch with me. This is the best place to ask me questions. And the reason that I do that is for a couple of reasons. One is, it leverages my time, because if I'm getting private emails every time somebody has a question and I'm answering the same question over and over and over again in a private email, that's not a good use of my time, right? So it's a better use of my time and helpful for everybody in the community if I'm answering the question publicly, because if somebody has a question about something, it's going to help the others when I answer it. Even if they don't have the same question, maybe they don't have the question yet, but it's something that they were going to need to know later. So what's cool is when somebody asks a question, a lot of times I'll just shoot a quick Loom video and I'll post it in the Facebook group. And it just makes it really easy for me to, share my screen and show people whatever it is that they have a question about and just provide the best service. And when I'm traveling, I do check my Facebook every day, my Facebook group, to make sure that everybody's questions are answered if there are any. But I'm not necessarily keeping up with my emails when I'm traveling. My Facebook group is my priority. But the other thing that this Facebook group provides is it's a way that I can demonstrate, and I tell my team members this, I want you guys to have freedom as well. So I do everything with leverage so that I can demonstrate to others what it looks like to build a business with leverage. Because going back to the beginning of this video, when I was telling you about how, the people that sponsored me into my first home business were working all the time, one-on-one, and doing these three-way calls and doing all the stuff that I didn't want to do, it was a turnoff to me. So if I can show my people, like, this is how I can support all of you in one place, and it's actually providing more service than it would be if I was doing everything one-on-one, because everybody benefits from every conversation and every question that I answer. And so it's demonstrating to them what's possible, it's giving them better service, and it leverages my time. So this is what I mean when I say build it and they will come. I had this Facebook group before I even started promoting and sponsoring people, because I knew that if I didn't, I was going to be stuck in this trap of bringing in a new person and then needing to get them onboarded and needing to, figure out how to support them, where because I have my onboarding sequence and because I have my Facebook group, I'm ready. And I believe that the universe, when we're ready and we have systems in place like this, the universe will bring us the people, that we can help because we're ready to help them. So these are some of the systems and processes that I use in my business to help me build a business with leverage. Again, you can use these tips and strategies for pretty much anything, but I definitely recommend getting some things set up for yourself so that you're not feeling like you have to do one-on-one prospecting, which is another thing I love about YouTube, because I don't want to chase people down in Facebook Messenger. I prefer attraction marketing, where I'm putting the content out and the right people are coming to me, right? So that leverages my time rather than chasing people on Facebook Messenger and doing one-on-one prospecting. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. It's just not for me. I like to do everything with leverage. So I've got my business set up in a way where I can get leads and sales in a leveraged way, and I can support my people in a leveraged way. And I really recommend that you consider, take what you like from this video, leave the rest if you don't want to do it that way. Again, I preface this by saying I know that this is a little bit controversial because some people want to support people one-on-one and think that that's a good idea. I personally don't. Even if you're new, like I said, I feel like it's better to be set up for success from the get-go. Not to mention, how are you supposed to support your new people when you're new too and you don't have all the answers, right? So it's good to have some systems and processes in place to support your people. So like I said, I'm going to share with you the 3 main residual income streams that I swear by in my business. I'm going to share that below this video. And I will also share some more information about my main program that I've been speaking about, where I have all these systems built in, where, if you decide you want to work with me inside of there, you're going to get access to all of my resources as well. My onboarding sequence and everything that I have, I'm going to give to you as, because I want you to succeed. And I really, really, really just believe in building a business with leverage. We also have an amazing community, and would love to welcome you into the community if that's something that you're interested in. And since I mentioned my affiliate marketing cheat sheet, I always like to, if I'm mentioning something on here, I always like to provide a link to it below this video. So if that's something that you would like access to, I will leave a link to that below this video as well. Hope this has been helpful. Leave it a thumbs up if it has. Leave me a comment to let me know. And if you have any questions, you can leave those in the comments as well. And I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.